KOMU-TV, Channel 8, Columbia. And now, the 6 o'clock report. An hour of news with Clark Edwards, Steve Grissom, Paul Pepper, and a special report by Channel 8's Public Affairs Department.
Good evening and welcome to the 6 o'clock report this evening. We do have reports on the new anti-retardation plan for Missouri.
KOMU-TV, Columbia.
From Channel 8, this is the news.
Good evening. Here's the news. Governors from 10 Midwestern states have gathered at the...
This is News Center 8, Sunrise.
Good morning. For News Center 8 at Sunrise, I'm Linda Kraxberger. Missouri's top educator has resigned.
You are watching KOMU-TV Channel 8, Columbia, Jefferson City. This is News Center 8 at 10. Your news for the 90s with Brian Curtis, Randy Wright with weather, and Brian Nooner with sports.
Good evening. A Boone County jury has found...
You're watching KOMU-TV, Channel 8, Columbia, Jefferson City. This is News Center 8 at 10. Your news for the 90s with Brian Curtis, Randy Wright with weather, and Brian Nooner with sports. You're watching KOMU-TV8, Columbia, Jefferson City. And now, live, Mid-Missouri's news team. Angela Buck, Randy Wright, and Brian Nooner. This is News Center 8 at 10.
Good evening, everyone. A clash between...
You're watching KOMU-TV8, Columbia, Jefferson City. And now, live, Mid-Missouri's news team. Angela Buck, Rex Hodge, Randy Wright, and Brian Nooner. This is News Center 8 at 10. Now, local news coverage you can count on. This is News Center 8.
Kemper Military Academy officials oppose a planned access road that will cut through its property. That access would make it easier for gamblers to reach the Booneville riverfront. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Reek.
And I'm Linda Loveland.
Strange, it seems like another world.
Later, I'll introduce you to some of the actors from NBC's longest-running soap opera. Don't go away.
You're watching News Center 8 with Linda Loveland, Jim Reek, Dave Schmidt, and Brian Nooner.
This is KOMU News at 6.
It sure feels like football weather. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Reek. It's week 6 of Friday night.
Studio 8A, coverage you can count on. This is KOMU 8 News Today on the CW.
Welcome to KOMU 8 News Today. That's a live look over Columbia.
8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 5.
Proactive policing is what Columbia officers call it, but some patrons call it unfair.
From Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 6.
It costs millions of dollars to run the Chamois Power.
Now, from Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 10.
Bundle up and get ready for winter. Nebraska, Iowa, now Missouri. Snow is falling on the Midwest. It's our big story for tonight, the first severe weather of the season. Good evening, I'm Angie Bailey.
And I'm Jim Reek. Thanks for joining us. We begin our team
coverage you can count on. This is KOMU 8 News Today.
Welcome back, everyone, to KOMU 8 News.
A tornado brought an early morning wake-up call to some Mid-Missourians. This video came from...
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
The confirmation process for Supreme Court nominee...
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News on Mid-Missouri CW starts now.
Well, it was quite a snowy Friday heading into this weekend. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jordan Berger. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Before we take you to today's headlines, let's check in with our First Alert weathercaster, Jake.
You can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
You can even hear it here in Columbia. Glory is playing loud and clear across St. Louis. The St. Louis Blues are bringing home the city's first ever Stanley Cup. Good evening, I'm Amber Robb.
And I'm Jim Rick. Thanks for joining us. I wasn't sure this day would ever happen. We've been following the game and watch parties all night. KOMU 8's Annie Ochoa is live at the Blue Note in Columbia. We're fans.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News Today starts now.
Good Sunday morning, everybody. It's April 23rd, 2023. I'm Avery Grover.
And I'm Raina Gatko. Thanks for waking up with us today on KOMU 8 News. So let's get
KOMU 8 News at 10.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
The Boone County Commissioners meeting hours ago. After 2 years in the making, Boone County.
You're watching KOMU TV, Channel 8, Columbia, Jefferson City, and rebroadcast on KO7SD in Rolla.